How you doing,
Yo,
champ?
sir. We say you good?
All good, man. All good, man. It's been a hot minute
Man,
since we spoke.
yeah, it's been a little while still.
Yeah, man. It's like a
Little
tradition. We
while.
talk once every lockdown.
Yeah, I know, man. We need to make it more of a.
Hope you've been keeping safe. Hope your family's all good.
Yeah, thankfully, man. Everyone's well. Um, no drama to be fair. So
That's
fingers
good, man.
crossed it
Are
stays
you
that
um
way.
are you in the UK currently, or are you back in Portugal?
Nah, I'm still in the UK. But depending on what happens, depending on when I go out to Portugal and
That'd be
start getting
good.
that real work, that
That's
champ
good,
work.
man. Glad to hear. Hopefully we can see you in the ring soon again.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, I'm hoping to be fighting. I wanted to fight it for a long time, so I'm just trying to stay ready. I'm just hopefully gonna get something soon.
That's it, man. So obviously on Wednesday we had the golden contract. We had Harlem Eubank and Danny Darko as well
Yeah,
for the eliminator for your English title. We spoke about this
yeah.
a few days before. We
Mhm.
both gave a prediction. We both clearly said that maybe Harlem is going to win it. He did. What did you think of his performance that night?
It was good. He boxed really well. He kind of not surprised me, but he showed me a level that I hadn't seen before, which is commendable to him. Um, Daniel Danny Darko, I think I expected a bit more from him to be fair. I think um I think he'll come again. I think it was a learning curve for him, maybe what he needs to offer on a day he couldn't bring out of him. But it's hard meant fights. And I think Danny Darko will come again, but congratulations to Eubank.
Yeah, it seems like it's been like the month of the jab. Like every week we're getting like big fights. People winning with that jab. So he did quite
Mm-hmm.
well. Harlem using that jab. I
What's up?
think Danny didn't let his hands go too much. I think if he came more forward and was more aggressive, I think he was near the end, but a little too late.
No, I think it's more judging the distance. I think Harden got a good jab, but his feet was what was keeping him out of trouble, and he was keeping him guessing, and he didn't let him to set his feet to throw shots. So yeah, it was a good game plan, and he executed it well.
Is this a fight you're looking forward to? Is this the next fight you would want? Yourself and Harlem Eubank for the title.
I think it's a good fight. I think it's a good fight. I think it's a fight that both of us will have to answer questions. Obviously, we don't know what he's like when he's in deep waters. Obviously, people ain't really seen the best of me. I think Harlem Eubanks will have to show me a level of boxing, and I think it'll be a good fight. But it just depends. It just depends what they what they put on the table, and obviously he's got to come up with the goods because obviously it's a voluntary defense. It ain't mandatory, but it's a fight that I want, and the fight that I spoke to my manager today and said get on a blow up and put it to them that we want to fight.
100%. And do you believe because the mandatory was on Sky, obviously the title's got
Yeah,
to be on Sky, right? Eddie Hearn needs to put this on an undercard for a Sky show.
yeah. I think it's a good fight. I think it's a fight that fans would love to see. I think it's very intriguing where his progressions come because obviously he's an improved fighter, and I think I would definitely be his toughest test today. And again, me beating him will show a level of boxing that or the level that I'm at, and it'd be good because he can box. I'll take his head off.
100%. What is it about your style that can make it awkward for him? Apart from you're more experienced, you've got more rounds and fights under your belt. But what is it about your style that can make it awkward for him?
Everyone I've been in with, they've all felt the power. They all know they're in with someone who can take them out anytime. And I'm there to take you out basically. But obviously, if you don't come, you don't come. But I think me and him, um, yes, he would have joy because he is a good boxer. I will catch up with him and I will sting him with shots and I'll hurt him. And I mean, it'll either be a beat down or be a stoppage.
You know me, Kate, since from day one I've been a controversial one, so I have to bring it up. I've been saving it for this
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah.
There was a little debate in our DMs between us and Uncle T, and
Okay.
straight away he said, "K Prosper ain't ready for Harlem Eubank. He'll get smoked."
No way he said that. Is that what he said for real?
He put it on his stories.
Okay, he's saying that because I tanned him a few times on Week Spot. That's what it is, and he's about 3 weights heavier than me. Nah. Respect to Uncle T, man. Everyone's got opinions. That's the best thing about boxing. Real opinions, and someone's going to be proved right, someone's going to be proved wrong. End of the day, I haven't had to show the levels of boxing that I possess in some of the fights. I mean, I haven't really had to dig to show all my arsenal against him. Hopefully, it'll have to come out, and I'll show you what I got.
That's it. I think it's the right fight for you to send a message in the whole division as well.
Yeah.
If
To be fair, like that was
sorry, go on.
before he won his bout against Danny Darko. That wasn't a fight that was anyway on my radar. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking for the people that are at the top. We spoke about this before. The likes of Robbie Davies Jr, Ohara Davis, Jack Cattrall. These are the fights that I want to be involved with. He's blown me in the rankings, but you know what? You got to take opportunities that arise, and it's a feasible fight and a fight that I know I can push on from.
If, for example, this fight doesn't happen, has there been anyone that's been mentioned to you recently that could be a potential fight in 2021?
The fight that I was hoping for was Dalton Smith. That they come to us and approached us for the fight. We bit their hand off. I think it was a bit too eager for the fight, and I think then they've done a bit of their research, and then they've said that he's not ready yet. He wants a few more fights, but obviously, who knows what opportunity is going to rise for him? And I'm always there for him, and I think that's a good fight still on big stage. Other than that, there's like Lee Appleyard, he's in the mix. There's Sean Dodd, he's in the mix. Who else is there?
Tyrone Mckenna?
Tyrone Mckenna. I mean, I'd love that fight.
He's gone quiet. He's gone quiet. You remember, I had him on my Insta Live during the first lockdown. You gave him a message. Yeah. He said that Ohara weren't going to beat him. Ohara beat him, and you wanted him next.
And I want him next. That's a massive fight. That's a fight that I would love to have, because you know what I mean. He's boxing on a big stage. Everyone knows his name, and he's got a high ranking. All I want is big fights and good fights that the fans are going to enjoy. And you know what I mean, fights are going to push me on.
100%. What's your opinion on this great opportunity right now with Hennessy Sports that they're showing some of these events on Channel 5? Do you think that more channels should invest in boxing and show more fights like this?
As far as the fight with...
No, in general. You know, like right now, Hennessy Sports is giving the platform on Channel 5.
Yeah. It's massive. Like,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, definitely. As a sport, you know what I mean, we're the most exciting sport. We bring so much value for money. And the fact that he's getting involved and he's putting on shows and then bringing it to them, I think more people need that. And I think the sport needs that, because obviously with only there being a couple of major players, they monopolize it, and only certain people get a look in. So the more people that can get involved, the better it is for the sport. So more power to him.
100%. Hopefully, we're seeing the crowd back for AJ Pulev this weekend. We've seen it for football recently. Do you think they can keep this going?
I hope so. I think obviously going forward now with all the vaccine stuff, and people will be more aware of the whole situation. I'm hoping that like the R rate stays down, and they just free up the country, and let's just get back to some sort of normality.
I think it's the way they're doing it that, friends can't go. You have to be from the same household. You need to show the proof that you are from the same household. I think that's a big step right now to get the crowds back. It's not just for the stadium fights, for the small hall fights as well.
Yeah. Obviously, we all know small halls boxing can't really run without crowds. So 100%. And there's so many fighters that box on small hall that are trying to push on and trying to make a living. So they've got to look at that. And I think obviously it's all about being safe, and it's all about making sure that we do the right things. But let's just hope and pray that early next year to the middle of next year we can start getting that ball rolling again.
100%. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that we can get everything back to normal, because I think boxing is one of the biggest sports that has suffered more than any other sport.
Yeah, especially with this no bailout, not giving the sport of boxing any money. So
Yeah,
it's going to be hard for certain clubs and certain organisations to keep running. So it's going to be a sad state of affairs, to be fair.
100%. Jermaine is asking, did you see any weaknesses in Harlem's last fight that you think you can exploit?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say I'd say hopefully the fight gets made and then I can expose all these flaws. But I just think Harlem, he's not weak. You know what I mean? Even though he's not got a big frame, I think he's quite strong, but he's not stronger than me. So I think I could break him down on the inside. I think, like, yes, he's good at jabbing, but you know what I mean, I've got my own jab that I can capitalize on. And I think that he's got some bad posture. Like, he keeps himself quite open, but obviously you need quick feet to get there to land the shots. And I think I've got much quicker feet, 100 times quicker feet than Danny Darko. So if he leaves them gaps and keep his left hand low against me, he might just get knocked the F out. So yeah, let's go.
Before I let you go, what's your take on the weekend's that big fight between Lyndon Arthur and Anthony Yarde? Do you think it was a fair scorecard on the judges?
I like Lyndon Arthur, and I think he's a good boxer. But I just think flicky jabs round after round, and you're getting caught with some clean, hard shots in them rounds. You don't pick up rounds for me. Like, I get, like, he was good, but use your jab to set up other stuff. If your jab is doing damage and the jab is allowing you to control the whole round, then I can understand that. But yes, he won some rounds behind the jab, and yes, he looked good, but it wasn't enough for me for him to say that he won the fight. So I gave it to Yarde, even though it wasn't a robbery. You know what I mean? It was a couple of rounds, but I personally think Yarde won that fight. I'd love to see a rematch. Because I think that would clear it up.
100%. They did say after the fight that they want the rematch, and they did reveal that there is a rematch clause in the contract. So it might be a fight that we might end up seeing.
Yeah, I think it's fair. And if obviously Lindelof can go and do the same job or do a better job, then he fully deserves to go to world honours and world level, because that's where Yarde's been at, and I think he's close to that level if he gets a good performance in. But yeah, like, I could see he was upset, but you know what I mean, sometimes, like myself, I lost. I've learned so much from that. Obviously, he's lost. You learn a lot from losses, and you can grow from that. Yeah.
100%. One of the things that they did it after the Kovalev fight. Obviously, they've done it after this fight. Is jumped on Tunde's back. Do you think it's time for Yarde to change trainers, or should he stick to Tunde?
No, I think he gets a lot out of himself with Tunde, but you can always add things to your game. So maybe add different trainers and add different aspects that you can actually be maybe a bit more of a rounded fighter. Because for me, he wasn't cutting off the ring like he should. He was following around. He wasn't able to, therefore, let his shots off and throw in combination. I think, so I think he could add things to his game, add another coach or add people around him that can add more to his game. And I just want to know if they do actually spar on him, because if they don't spar, then that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. When that story came out, I was shocked with that. Some people are saying they do. Some people were saying it and saying they don't, but
they don't look too much because people just love to make stories. But yeah, let's see.
One more thing before I let you go. What's your prediction for, obviously we've got Anthony Joshua coming back this weekend against Pulev. Is it a walk in the park, or is Pulev a tough opponent as he used to be, or is he not the same fighter he used to be?
I would say that he's still got something left, but he's not the same fighter as he was. and I think AJ is going to want to make a statement, and I think he get him out there middle rounds.
I think so as well. He's no
Okay,
walk
yeah.
in the. He's gonna make it tough for AJ, but I think
Mm.
he'll get him out there.
Yeah, I think he'll get him out there, and I think he'll do it in a spectacular fashion. So let's roll on to big 2021. Hopefully, some massive fights can get made.
100%. One of them being you against Harlem Eubank.
Yeah, I think that's a fight that makes sense for me because I've been trying to get a fight since all this lockdown started. I've been trying to get on the big bills and this and that, and no one's really stepping up to the plate. But he seemed like he's the kind of guy or the kind of kid that really wants to push on and he's willing to take risks. Because Danny Darko, that's a risky fight. No one really knew how that was going to go. It was very 50-50. So I think he's not scared to fight me. He's got a decent platform. So really, that fight makes a lot of sense, and it should be able to be easily made. And yeah, let's make it happen.
100%. Okay. Hopefully this fight gets announced, and when we do, we'll speak to you again. Thank you again for taking your time to speak to us today. And I hope 2021 is the year for K Prospere and for everybody to get a fight.
100%, man. Let's get this work.
Take care, champ. Speak to you soon.
Take care.